Another thing that has come into, and I've thought about this for a couple of days now, and really went into, as we look at the violence that we see, that seems to now be an element of wherever you are, politics. I look at rallies that started maybe 6 months ago.
Yes.
And in everything, there has either been the threat of violence or there has been actual violence. And it has exacerbated to the point that we see what we saw a couple of days ago in Kisumu and in Nyahururu. Violence is it's an old age tool of politics. It's been used for the longest time as a tool. But what it is doing now seems to be instilling fear in the hearts and minds of many. So two things happen. Number one, they don't come out.
Yes.
And number two, they do not speak up against the status quo because they are afraid. How do you see this playing out moving into the future when at the same time we are saying that constitutionalism and the voice of the people must be the loudest?
Let's first celebrate the veterans that have been vanguards of non-violent politics in this country. Just to show how backward we have gone when it comes to political maturity from places where we demand and deserve good examples. There was a time in this country when a tomboya would be a candidate here in a Kamukoji, dominated by the Gikuyu community, but you'd always defeat the Wanjegis. There was a time when Achinga Neko would contest in Nakuru town and win hands down against a 90% dominated ethnic Gikuyu. Yeah. That things used to happen. There was a time when J.M. Kariuki in 1974 would not put a poster and will not go to campaign because it was bad for him even campaigning, and is elected with a landslide, 95% of the vote, yet he is not even campaigning, and there's not a single voter who is molested, and there's not a single skirmish. So the state could push you, but it did not go that extra mile. There was, of course, the incidences of extremism, but I'm talking about the communal today. The example you are getting, not just from Molokalao, from every part of this country, because you have seen what has been happening in churches.
Yeah.
In Kariobangi, you saw what happened to Sivuna and Orengo. Yeah. You saw what happened in Nyahururu. And government is present. These rallies are announced. These are places of worship. You saw even yesterday there was an attack of a member of Yala, Kaninkega, my friend. So, where we are going is a dangerous place. And many people are speaking. Last evening there was Baraka Muluka in these studios in KTN. And he spoke exactly what I'm saying now and what other people have said before. We are not just talking about a president who is at a siege and who is extremely greedy and extremely desperate. I dare say we are not just talking about Ruto the person that we know.
Who are we talking about?
We are talking about a conman. And you're talking about something that people may not want to hear. We are talking about a person whose track record is known. We have a mzee called Atwoli. Before he came to the system to survive and to protect his interests, and he's my friend, I call him my dad, for good reasons. He said that if Ruto becomes president, he will carry the central bank on his shoulders. That was Atwoli. And he said if Ruto loses an election, he is going to hang himself in Sugoi. So we go there and cut all the trees so that he can live to see Kenya being led. Unfortunately, and I saw Kerito Murugi speaking, people who have something to hide from the Kibaki administration, from the Uhuru administration, are now grouping in Ruto. Those former ministers, those senior people who use their positions to misappropriate and loot, who at one time or another have been accused of murder or have been suspended from their position because of allegations of corruption are now gathering. So the plethora we have today are greedy people, desperate people, and guilty people, I dare say. There's nobody of sane mind, or patriotic zeal, and nationalistic credentials who can dare now go and anchor the administration of Ruto. If Ruto, by God forbid, makes back to State House, get a second term, either we have an exodus, as you told us, get out of the country, or he takes us where he vowed he can. Said we go to jail, we get out of the country, or we go to heaven. Going to heaven means the president was saying he is going to kill people. He has killed them. He has killed Gen Zs. He has abducted others. If by mistake he comes back to be the president of Kenya for another 5 years, we'll have many Kiraitos and many Atoris. Those are cowards. Those are guilty. But you'll have an exodus of the Gogo Adhiongos and Shadrach Gutos again. People going to exile because this is a country that will be unlivable. And we need to say this.
It's serious stuff you're saying, Kabando.
And did you see in Embu the other day, my sister do? Yeah. Did you see the president talking in Embu and people are not cheering? Until he got so desperate, he said, oh, you, he pointed to a man. I'm going to give you something so that you can give these people. At top of the vehicle. He has never alighted. He is barely on his desk, except the showcases of what if you cannot address the basic issues of the pocket and food for the people and security for the people. What can you talk about infrastructure fund or sovereign board?
Kabando. Then
you gather children around your state house. I never saw mature people like Kibaki or Moyo Kenyatta never did those kind of things. We are having a child play instead of statecraft.
Kabando leadership is...
You know, when you present children, when you're signing those bills, they are there with the uniforms. Then hand out to schools and all that. But everything else is collapsing.